I'm pretty sure most of you remember the 2018 blockbuster Crazy Rich Asians, but what makes this movie memorable? Media coverage and most audiences celebrate this film's all-Asian cast. However, the entire conflict of the movie is around an issue other than race: social class. If you're unfamiliar with Crazy Rich Asians, the main character is Rachel, an economics professor in New York City, who's dating Nick Young, a history professor. The central conflict throughout the movie is the difference between social classes of Nick, who is from a well-known Singaporean family, and Rachel, a second-generation American immigrant raised by a single mother. Media has an important impact on class inequality by supplying information to general audiences and the middle class. By analyzing Crazy Rich Asians through a Marxist lens, it can be inferred that this film perpetrates this class conflict because it does not discuss it seriously or on a large scale. Marxist criticism explores how work is done and its societal benefits on the upper and lower classes. In order to begin understanding class struggle, let's look at clear examples within the movie itself. This clip comes late in the film when Rachel confronts Nick's mom about the discrimination that she has faced while she is in Singapore due to her social class.
I know Nick told you the truth about my mom, but you didn't like me the second I got here. Why is that?
There is a Hokkien phrase, kakilang. It means our own kind of people. And you're not our own kind.
Because I'm not rich? Because I didn't go to a British boarding school or I wasn't born into a wealthy family?
You're a foreigner, American, and all Americans think about is their own happiness.
Ms. Young's response to Rachel that she is unworthy due to her background illustrates how there is an issue with class discrimination and judgment in Singaporean society. However, it decides to ignore the most important issue that this would cause within Singapore itself. Income inequality and the wage gap has become an increasingly large problem in Singapore. Along with this problem, social class has become a very divisive characteristic for those who live there. However, this movie and this scene in particular have a focus on the young family solely and ignore that this could be a problem within society itself. In the following video clip, one of Nick's cousins confronts him about his relationship with Rachel. Pay attention to how his comments reflect on the lower class.
Oh my god, Nick! What are you worried about? You have to keep Rachel happy. She's just lucky to be here.
Nice, Eddie.
Oh, what? So we're gonna pretend like that's not the truth? Are we in some kind of fairy tale story that I don't know about? Did you find her shoe at midnight and jump in a pumpkin? Yo, I got so much shit about marrying Fiona, and her parents own the biggest shipping company in Hong Kong. Hey, Araminta's adorable, but you think your dad would be spending millions on this wedding if her parents didn't own a billion-dollar resort chain? What's Rachel bringing to the table?
By suggesting that Rachel should find happiness in Nick's riches rather than companionship, it can be argued that he thinks that the middle class are shallow and greedy. These negative views towards Rachel and other middle-class Americans shows how this is a problem within Nick's family and not just his mother. Although the problem with the class divide is more widespread, Crazy Rich Asians decides to focus on one family in particular, lessening the effect it can have on viewers. The upper class in Crazy Rich Asians is the only view we get into Singaporean society, which can affect the way that viewers feel about Singapore in real life. Though Rachel comments about Nick's family being posh and snobby, this is not on the individual level. Actually, the stratification between social classes in Singapore is a systematic issue caused by years of economic inequality and a growing wage gap. This is explained by Marxist criticism, which examines interactions between the classes in order to uncover oppression or exploitation. In the following clip, two South Asian cards meet Rachel and Peiklin on their way to a party.
You actually use the okay, all right, that's hi. So we'll just. Hello, sir. How are you? We're here for the party, and we come in peace. He's on the phone. He's on the phone. Is that a gun knife? It's a knife gun. Oh. It's a okay, and there's a friend. Hi. Be very nice to.
Yeah.
We can go through. We're going through. Okay. Don't stab the car.
These are the only two characters in Crazy Rich Asians who are South Asian, which is actually a large group and very common in Singapore. By including them in such a comedic way, it is inferred that Crazy Rich Asians has little respect for and is making fun of the situation of South Asians in Singapore. However, it can also be seen as one of the few instances of realistic Singapore in this film. The upper class, including Peiklin, who is not a member of the Young family, do not show respect towards other groups and the lower classes. But overall, the disrespectful behavior towards the lower classes being played off as comedic relief within Crazy Rich Asians lessens its impact on viewers and is less useful in informing them of the class divide. Crazy Rich Asians is not the only film with a focus on social class, and a more recent film called Parasite actually talks about these issues more in depth. The film Parasite contrasts lives of two families, one from the upper class and one from the lower class. In the film, the Kim family launches a plan in order to find employment by lying to the Park family about their experience, one at a time. By comparing these families, there are very clear differences and conflicts that can be explained by the Marxist critique.
부자인데 착하다니까. 진짜 니가 착한 거지.
This quote is just one example of one of the many comments about money and social class made throughout this movie. Others include how low-class people smell different, or how upper-class people are careless. This shows how divided class issues have become in a much more direct way than Crazy Rich Asians. This clearer focus makes Parasite a more helpful film in showing problems about social class than Crazy Rich Asians, which address these problems with offhand remarks easily dismissed by viewers. Because it had a more serious tone, Parasite did a better job in informing viewers of class issues and of possible misunderstandings in order to help bridge the divide between the upper and lower classes. To conclude, Parasite has had much better feedback than Crazy Rich Asians on its discussions of social class, because it effectively informs viewers of problems in everyday life. Generally, films have a large responsibility of informing viewers of problems that they would otherwise not know about. With Crazy Rich Asians, these issues are only discussed on the surface level and affect the public perception of life in Singapore. On the other hand, there are films like Parasite which attack these issues head-on, but also deal with darker themes in the process. What's important to remember is films often give an incomplete or inaccurate portrayal of social class. If the only way you've learned about the way of life in unfamiliar places like Singapore is through a movie like Crazy Rich Asians, there's bound to be specific details that you are missing out on. Those have either been left out for the sake of a cohesive plot or to fit a PG-13 rating. So if you're ever interested about anything you've seen in a movie, it's a good idea to do some research afterwards. Although it may seem unnecessary, a quick Google search after you watch a movie could change your perspective on how it portrays social class, or teach you something new. Thank you for your time. This channel is also the platform for my senior project, so if you're interested in any other videos similar to this, there should be about 20 other ones on this channel right now. Have a good February break.